Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I wanted to make this video just to share some thoughts and some ideas that I'd had over this last week and probably for the last 6 months. My aim when starting this YouTube channel back in June was to share some of the things that I'd learned over the last 2 and a bit years of drawing every day. And there are lots of reasons why I decided to become a bit more serious as an artist. I've always drawn since I was a child and absolutely loved it, and I just wanted to get better and better and get truer to that photograph or that illustration that I was seeing. So 2 years ago I had a 1-year-old daughter. I also had a 3-year-old little boy, and I felt like I was at a little bit of a crossroads in my life. I was a mum and it was great and I loved it, but it was pretty overwhelming and I didn't have any time for me at all, which you don't when you've got children or newborns or whatever. And I just felt like I needed something very, very different to that side of my life, something that I could almost shut off and lose and this is just my personality. I felt like I needed something that was quiet, I suppose, that I could do at the quiet times, and even if that was 10 minutes here and there, I felt like I needed to do it. I've been self-employed. I've got another business for about 13 years now, and I love that side of my job, but I just felt like I needed to get that creative part of me going again, and I felt like something was lacking. So back to before I had my children, when I was in my early 20s, I did a lot of acrylic painting, and it was lots of still life, lots of landscapes, all different kinds of things, but never portraiture, never animals. I don't know why. I think I was just picking up things around my house. I used to draw wine bottles on. What does that say about me? A lot. Again, copy things that I'd seen. So I had a little postcard of something and I'd draw it in big scale or paint it in big scale and just see if I could get it to... Because I suppose I didn't have much confidence in my own creativity and my own imagination, or even my own ability to get down on canvas or paper what I had in my mind. And I think over the years it's been a nagging doubt of mine that I want to be able to express myself and not to rely on copying, emulating something else that somebody else has created. And I think that all comes down to confidence, or lack of it in my case, that I just didn't feel confident enough that if I created something from my own imagination, that it would be seen as a good piece of art. And I suppose in the last couple of years, that nagging doubt has become harder and harder to ignore. And I feel like I'm at a big crossroads in my life now. And I feel like I need to take some steps to move forward. I think I'm in a bit of a rut. And so when I had my daughter and my little boy was 2.5, 3, I found colour pencils, and I'd been looking on YouTube and I'd seen a lot of the amazing work that the colour pencil artists were creating. Things that I'd never thought of them before. I possibly used pencil crayons as a kid, Crayola, that kind of thing, but I didn't realise the level of detail that you could get with colour pencils. Another thing that was really appealing about the colour pencils was that they weren't messy. I could work on my dining table and I could quite easily clear them away, ready for dinner, and there wouldn't be a massive mess to clear up. I wasn't worried about things drying out. The only mess that there really was possibly on the back of my hand and the pencil shavings, and that was it really. So it was very portable, and I loved that side of it. The other side of the colour pencils that I love was the fact that you had to slow down. Life is so busy with children and all of the things that come with that I felt like I wanted something that would make me slow down and look into the detail of something and get lost in the detail of something, that I would not be able to think about anything else, just what I was doing. And I love that side of things. But I do feel like my first love was drawing in graphite and painting in acrylics, and I've dabbled in oils and that kind of thing. but I haven't painted properly in about 15 years. And so I feel like I'm almost starting again. I've learned a lot in the last 2.5 years of colour pencil work, and I'm hoping that the skills that I've learned from then I can then apply into my acrylic work. So my big plan going forward is that I want to start again. I want to go back to basics, and I want to become a better artist, and I want to have faith in myself. And for me to have faith in myself, I feel like I need to go back to basics and almost start again with my drawing process, and teach myself and practice daily to be able to draw to a level that I'm able then to not need to use a reference photo. Now that seems like quite a daunting task, and I'm gonna set myself that challenge. And the reason I'm making these videos is that a little bit of a diary, so that I can look back and see how far I've come. And I think that's really important to give you the momentum to be able to drive you forward. And I feel like by making it public, I'm holding myself accountable, so that I have a little bit of outside pressure that actually I do thrive on. I always found that at school, if I had an essay to write and I had 3 weeks to do it, I wouldn't do it until the night before, and then it kind of flowed because I had to do it. I had to hand it in the next day, and I was never one of those people that could pace myself and do the sensible thing, which would be to use those 3 weeks and plan it. And I just never did it, and I just don't think that's me. And sometimes you need to accept yourself for yourself, and work with the personality that you have, and use your strengths, and recognize your weaknesses, and almost do the things that you need to be your best, whatever that is. And that's what I'm going to do. So what my plan is that I'm going to make videos of my massive learning curve that I've put in front of myself for the next few years. I think I'm going to show my sketching, and I'm going to show the mistakes that I make, as well as some of the things that I feel like I've done okay well. And if there's anything that I feel like I've learned a lot, then I could make a tutorial video on that and show people what I'm doing that seems to be working. But also I thought the stage of life that I'm at right now is that I am a mum of 2. I do have small children. I don't have a lot of time, and I don't have the time to make the polished videos that I want to make in my mind. And so I need to work with what I have instead of constantly trying to fight it, which is what I've been doing. And I think that's where I've been hitting a bit of a brick wall and feeling frustrated and that kind of thing. I wonder if any of you can relate to that. And so I need to do something about that, something positive. And I think this is it. I've noticed over the last couple of years that I can become a little bit obsessed with comparing myself to other artists, and there are some magnificent artists out there that do inspire me massively to keep going, and I just see their level of work and it's just mind-blowing. But on the other downside, or the flip side of that, is that you can become quite discouraged yourself because you're not at that level yet. And well, that's true, I'm not at that level of these amazing artists that I follow, but they all started somewhere, and I need to start, I need to practice. I don't really believe that, there are the odd few, but I don't believe that people are born with a natural artistic talent. I don't think it's a talent. I think you're just drawn to something, drawn to practicing because you love it and you want to improve. And I think it takes a lot of hard work. And all of these artists that are sharing these amazing pieces that they've done, they've put in hours and hours and hours of really hard work in order to get to that level, and they're still striving for the next level. And I think that's what it's all about. I think, are we ever happy? I don't know. But I think I'm at my happiest when I'm creating and learning. And how do you learn? We learn by doing. And I just feel like I need to do, and I need to go back to basics. I do have some technical ability. I do have some knowledge. I'm not starting from scratch, but I do feel like I've reached a point in the work that I'm doing that is frustrating me, and I feel like I'm at a real crossroads. So that's what this is all about. I'm going to be moving forward and putting a lot of work into drawing again, and I want to get back into painting. I love it, and I think I'm missing it, and I think I need to let it back in. So what I did was, feeling massively inspired, I was speaking to a friend in the week and he got me really inspired about maybe bigger pieces, bolder pieces, painting again. So what I did was I went down to my local art shop and I had a really nice chat with the guy in there. I live in Bristol, and I went to Cass Art on Park Street, and there's some really lovely people in there, and I said, I have painted before, but I feel like things have changed massively in the last 15 years, so I feel like I'm starting again. So I'm going to show you what I bought. I bought these acrylics, they're Liquitex, they're heavy body acrylics, and I bought the set of 12. They have all the primary colours and the secondary colours. They're quite bright as well, some of the other colours I've got, and that excited me because I thought I could use them for backgrounds, something a little bit different. It doesn't have to be complete realism, it can be a little bit of fantasy too. I've heard, and from 2 or 3 people from this shop, they all recommended these. The other thing I bought was some brushes. They are the Cass Art's own mate. They're white synthetic for watercolour, oil and acrylic. They've got a 5-year guarantee. And I went for the slightly shorter ones. They had ones that were about 1 foot long. And so I went for the ones that are pencil length because I'm making that transition from colour pencils to painting again. And I thought that might be a bit of a smoother transition than having the really long ones where you've got to have a steady hand, and I'm not comfortable with that right now. So, and then the next thing that was important was the material that I'm going to be painting on. Now what I didn't want to do was spend a lot of money on canvases right off the bat, because I knew that I was going to be making a lot of mistakes. So I bought this Winsor & Newton Galleria paper. It's an acrylic pad. So you've got that acrylic texture paper, really, really thick. It's £140, 300 GSM. There's 15 sheets in here. It's 16 by 12 because I thought I'd go slightly bigger. And actually coming home, I realised that I'd already had the 14 by 10 version of it. So that was a bonus. I've got about 7 or 8 pages left out of this acrylic pad, which I can use, which is great. The other thing I needed was a palette, and I've had a plastic palette before. I've had a wooden one. I don't know where I've put it. I didn't want to buy another plastic palette because I am trying to cut down on the amount of plastic that I'm buying and just being a bit thoughtful about buying anything that I really don't need. So what I thought was I would reuse this plate that I have, and I've had it for quite a long time, and I've been using my watercolours. So easy to clean, and I already had it, which is a bonus. So I've got that ready. I'm dying to start painting, but I've decided that I am going to take one step at a time and walk before I run, and get back to drawing, get back to sketching, and get back to the basics. So I started on Friday night. When I got back from the art supply shop, I was really inspired, and I've started just doing some drawings of pigs, which I love. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do quite a few drawings of pigs and other animals to improve my drawing skills. I hope you enjoy this journey. I hope you can relate to some of the things that I've been saying about real life and the actual time that we have, and possibly working within your own reality, not trying to strive for the unrealistic and putting too much pressure on yourself, which is what I've been doing recently, and it's had quite a negative effect on me, and I think I need to learn from that and move forward, and that's what I'm trying to do. So thank you for listening. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I know time is precious. So this is week 1 of my challenge, or my quest to become a better artist, and I'm going to show everything, warts and all. Thank you for watching. If it's something that you find interesting or would like to follow along on this journey with me, then please click that like, and don't forget to subscribe and press that bell icon just so you're notified of future videos. I'm aiming to post every week, and hopefully more than that going forward. So it's going to be a journey that I hope you follow along, find interesting, and please feel free to comment down below. I want this to open conversations and discussions about art, and support each other and help each other, and grow as artists in any which way you want to go. This is my personal journey, and it will evolve and take different paths, and that's great. And that's, you know, everyone's journey is their own individual journey, and everyone's unique and they've got their own personalities, and you need to find what's right for you. But I'm hoping that some of you can relate to what I'm saying, what I'm talking about, and I really look forward to posting lots of videos of my journey. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.